You know, it's gonna corrupt everything morally that you have installed in you. All right, if you involve yourself with that kind of stuff, and I mean, it can go down all the way to even the way you look. All right, you may look a certain way, and then when you start hanging out with people, then you gonna start looking like them because you want to blend in. All right, it's like it's such an effect that it's such a subtle effect that you don't even notice until somebody brings it out to your attention. Like, what's happening to you, man? You're not the same. You change. You don't even talk the same. You don't hit me up no more. You know what's up? You've been lost. I mean, it happens. It happens, and then we think they got the problem. But guess what? We have to really do a self-inventory. All right? So don't be deceived. Evil company corrupt good habits. All right? So with that aspect, let's touch a little bit on when you're in a relationship. All right? Fellas, when you have a female, all right, in order to respect her, you need to respect her, all right, because you acknowledge who she is. She ain't just your girlfriend, or, she ain't just your wife. She is the daughter of the King of the universe. All right, that is deep. We ain't talking about, hey, where about her daddy here on earth? Because we can say, oh, I'm not afraid of her daddy. But guess what? All right, her creator, all right, is also watching. So be aware of the fact that she is the daughter of the King of the universe. All right, so treat her like one. Respect her like one. All right, because when you with your fellas and your fellas say, oh, come on, let's go to the go-go bar, or let's go to the club, or let's go to here, let's go to there. All right, I mean, for what? All right, in those environments, what are you gonna find? You're gonna find nothing but corruption, nothing but lustful things. All right, that are gonna make you want to do things that you're not supposed to do. So prevent, fellas, prevent. All right, I know you might say to yourself, oh, I don't want to diss my boys, but guess what? You ain't dissing your boys. You standing up for what you believe in. I mean, how much value are you giving to what you believe in? I mean, is it really worth throwing it to the garbage just for a moment? Don't be deceived. Evil company corrupts good habits. Females, the same thing. All right, ladies' night out. Let's go to Applebee's, have some margaritas and stuff like that. Hey, listen, ladies. All right, when we drink. All right, let's see what drinking does. Let's go to the book of Job real quick. Go to the book of Job, chapter 20th. Book of Job. Is it chapter 20th? I don't think it's chapter 20. Let me see. Oh, no, Proverbs. I'm sorry. Woo. Yep. Sorry. I know, it has it. It has it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Book of Proverbs, chapter 20th. Sorry about that. I just got too much going on in my head right now. And this is all improvised. Alright, Proverbs chapter 20th. That's the book after Psalms. Alright? Proverbs chapter 20th. Alright? Whenever you think, a little bit of drinking ain't bad, or I don't drink to get drunk. Well, guess what? The Bible warns us about that kind of thinking. What does Proverbs 20th chapter verse 1 say?
It says, wine is a mocker.
A mocker. What is a mocker? Someone that makes fun of you. Wine. Ladies love that wine. But wine is a mocker. It's waiting to make fun of you. Alright? And fellas too. Alright? Keep it.
Strong drink is a brawler.
Strong drink is a brawler, alright? I can speak up on this because my brother here, 15, he hasn't gotten drunk yet, but me, I've done tasted strong drinks, alright? I don't mix all type of alcohols where it'll make me feel like Superman, like I'm Hulk all of a sudden. Where, if I'm shy, all of a sudden I'm not shy. I have the guts to go up to a female and say, yo, what up, mama? It's like, hold up a second. You need to relax, alright? You need to think. But when you're drinking, you can't think because there's something in you thinking for you and acting for you, whether you notice it or not. The fact that it allows you to think, all right, it deceives you into believing that you're in control of yourself, that is when we fall. Because we think we're in control of our lives when we're not. So you need to accept that reality, all right? No matter what, we are all possessed, all right, by God or possessed by the enemy, all right? We are consciously possessed by God, and God is working good deeds through us, or we are unconsciously and ignorantly possessed by the enemy, and the enemy is doing all kind of deceitful things through us. Either way, we're gonna be possessed. The decision is, who do we want to be possessed by? Okay, so.
And whoever is led astray by it is not wise.
What did that tell you right there?
So I mean,
Whoever is led by drinking.
meaning if you keep drinking, right? And you know, we all know what alcohol does. You know, you lose your mind. You know, you lost, you gone. You know, that's what they say now. You know, man, I'm so gone. That's a literal statement.
It is.
You understand that? That's a, like they mean really serious about that. They're gone. They don't know what's going on, and that right there is not wise at all.
All right, so you won't be wise if you drink, ladies. You won't be wise if you drinking, gentlemen. All right, so who doesn't want you to be wise? I mean, I want to be wise. You know, we might say, oh, you know, being intelligent is enough, but guess what? It's not enough, because being wise, you know, takes you above and beyond. Everything you do is gonna be great. Why wouldn't you want to be great? All right, so many people aim to be superstars, which they look at that as something being great. But guess what? Superstars are not even wise. They're not wise. They're fools.
And what is wisdom?
What is wisdom? All right, intelligence is us knowing the whole Bible. That's intelligence. Wisdom is, you know, allowing God in you so that you can have the ability to make decisions based on how God will make them. For example, drinking.
What would Jesus do?
What would Jesus do? All right? If a girlfriend says, hey, girl, you know, man, I got some margaritas. You want one? Think. All right? Stop. Exercise the 3 steps. Stop, think, and then act. All right? Hey, girl, want a margarita? Stop. Think. What would Jesus do? Jesus wouldn't drink because Jesus would respect his body. Jesus would value himself. Jesus would acknowledge who he is. All right, and you ladies and gentlemen would acknowledge who you are, children of the God of the universe. This is serious business. And you will say, you know what? Nah, I ain't drinking. All right, I'm not putting anything, you know, negative in my body, no matter what. You know, just because it feels good, it doesn't mean that it's good. Okay, so let's look at chapter 23 real quick. Chapter 23 of Proverbs, same book, Proverbs. All right, verse 31. What does it say?
23 verse 31 says, "Do not look on the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it swirls around smoothly."
Don't look at it. It says don't look at it. It's not even telling you don't taste it. All right, it's giving you the first warning. Don't look at it, because by looking you're already desiring. All right, so we have to watch our eyes, because we are gonna lust over these things. All right, if we already have built a taste for it and we want to run away from it, we shouldn't even look that way. We should be like, no, get away from me. All right, because we already understand our vulnerability. Okay, so it keeps saying, verse 32.
And
at the last.
Oh, all right. At the last, it bites like a serpent.
All right, when you drink that, all right, the effects bites you like a serpent.
And stings like a viper.
All right, that is a venomous snake. All right, and it stings like a viper. Verse 33.
Your eyes will see strange things.
How many of you don't just driving home with one eye open because you can't see straight?
And your heart will utter perverse things.
And your heart, your mind will yearn. That's what utter means. Will yearn, will desire perverse things. All right, all of a sudden, you're going to be like Drake, you know. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to perverse things. All right? You're going to have a man, but guess what? When you on that state of mind, you're going to say, well, you know what? Let me see what my ex is doing real quick. You know, because this dude is out with his boys, so it don't matter. I'm alone tonight. You're going to yearn for perverse things. I mean, this is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So, let's watch out for what we look. All right? Now, when it comes down to, you know, temptations like that, all right, it's not that God puts it in our way, because God don't. All right? Let's look at, you know, what the book of James says real quick. Let's go to James. Go to James. You know, go to James, New Testament. That's after Hebrews, right after Hebrews. Book of James. All right. Let's look at verse 13. Start at verse 13.
Verse 13 says, "Let no one say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God."
Okay, a lot of people say, oh, God is tempting me. But here it's telling you, let nobody say that I am tempted by God. Why?
For God cannot be tempted by evil.
God cannot be tempted by evil.
Nor does he himself tempt anyone.
All right, does God, it doesn't make any sense for God to want to set us up for failure. So he doesn't get tempted by evil, nor he would tempt anybody that he loves. Because if you love somebody, would you tempt them? No, and God is love. This is a puzzle. Link everything together. All right? So, 14.
But each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and enticed.
Okay? So, I don't know if it's enticed or enticed, for pardon our,
I think it's enticed.
But, yeah. All right? So, every time we are tempted, it's not because God tempts us. It's because we are already, corrupted to that extent where our lustful desires tempts us. And only God will give us the strength to back away from them. Let's go to 1 Corinthians real quick. A little back. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. All right? Because no matter what, all right, there are going to be temptations, and it's okay. It's okay. All right? Because there's always a solution. All right? God is the solution. Verse 13.
13, it says, "No temptation has overtaken you except such as is common to man."
All right? There is temptations that are common to us. All right? There's nothing outside of this world. All right? Nothing that you can say, oh, it's impossible for me not to drink, or it's impossible for me not to smoke, or it's impossible for me not to cheat. No. It's just a common thing. Continue.
"But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able."
Okay, so let's break that down. He will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able to hold with his help. You see, God doesn't give the temptation, but he also don't, prevent it. He allows it to a certain extent, to the extent that he knows you can stand.
You can handle it.
All right, you can handle it not by yourself. You can handle it by leaning on him. All right, now if you have fallen into the same temptation over and over and over by trying to do it by yourself, it's a clear fact and reality that without God, you can't do anything. So that is what he might be trying to tell you. He says, hey, listen, look at what you've been trying to do by yourself, and notice how you haven't been able to do it alone. Now, let's try that again, but with my help. Okay? So.
But with the temptations will also make the way of escape, that you may be able to bear it.
So, with every temptation that we get, God provides an escape if we look for it through him, so that we can bear that. All right? So there's an exit all the time. We just have to look through it. All right? By praying and putting in our effort. There is no such a thing as just praying, God, I don't want to drink. And then, you see that drink there and you drink it. Or, hey, I don't want to drink. But then you give in because you didn't pray. You have to combine prayer and effort together. All right? There's no such thing as just doing one or the other. No. All right? So that's something that we have to understand when it comes down to temptation, because it's very important for us to understand that without God, we won't be able to do